One of the most hated celebrities of all time, believe it or not, is Anne Hathaway.
A great deal of hate for Anne Hathaway.
They're back in the news, and we are back to hating on them. Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Anne Hathaway.
Just won an Oscar. She's washed up. Anne Hathaway's old news.
She kind of comes across like that overly enthusiastic theater girl.
And people say she doesn't even seem like a real person.
She is so stupidly sick. I'm an actor.
Anne Hathaway is not a talented actress. She will win awards to make you believe she is. But she's actually just a slut.
There's even a hashtag Hatha-hating.
She is so annoying.
Poor Anne Hathaway. They really, really don't like you.
I'll begin with a question. If the Princess of Genovia herself could be trialed unfairly in the court of public opinion, what makes any of us safe? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi. This is Silver Screen Freak, where I talk about movies, TV shows, and pop culture. So yeah, I wanted to talk about something I noticed. Early this year, after her campaign with Bulgari, I noticed this intense wave of love for Anne Hathaway again. All of a sudden, everybody was talking about her and how much they love her. And it made me think, isn't this the same woman who no one could stand just a decade ago, who was berated and ridiculed all over online? And then it made me think, she was also dearly loved a decade before that too. And I realized it wasn't only Anne who has been unfairly publicly hated and ripped to pieces by the masses over the years. Jennifer Lawrence, Taylor Swift, and Anne Hathaway are all extremely talented and successful celebrities who started off their careers loved, with everyone wanting to know everything about them, until the public decided that they had had enough, and were publicly shunned and ridiculed to the point of hiding, only to re-emerge back into society with all of us forgetting about what absolute bullies we are. So I wanted to talk about this comeback era we're in, with the same it girls we loved and hated. I needed to dig up on why it seems every 10 years the internet has a different opinion on these women, and why we can't seem to just let them be, and how this insane cycle of love and hate for successful, talented female celebrities has been a thing since forever. But first, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell for more pop culture, movie, and TV related content. The world was introduced to Anne Hathaway in her iconic portrayal of Mia Thermopolis in The Princess Diaries. Anne was showered with praise, and she quickly became a pillar of the Y2K era, securing a coveted spot as an it girl. But she proved to be more than just a one-hit wonder beauty and made yet another splash in a more adult role in Brokeback Mountain, and knocked it out of the park and proved herself as a bona fide talented actress in The Devil Wears Prada. And it seemed like everyone couldn't get enough of Anne. Until they did.
On paper, they seem practically the same. The best of young Hollywood. They both snagged Oscars. They're both glamorous A-listers. So why is it that women across America seem to have such strong love-hate feelings about Jennifer Lawrence and Anne Hathaway?
Lawrence is everyone's new fave, okay? A few years ago, it was Anne Hathaway. Now everyone hates Anne Hathaway.
I know that, Anne. You were on your way to becoming America's sweetheart. But now there's another who has taken your place. And her name? Jennifer Lawrence.
And we have seen this time and time again.
Oh, everyone loves Jennifer Lawrence. So.
Does everyone love Jennifer Lawrence because she's so down to earth as well?
I think that's what it is. She's just like us basically, but famous.
Very much like how other it girls who have had their cycles of hatred by the general public, both Jennifer Lawrence and Taylor Swift started off
just
beloved.
She's so normal. The fact that she's always like talking about like in interviews, like say what's your favourite thing to do, and she just like eat. She's not like, you know, some celebrities like don't want to talk about eating, and you just see her all the time just like stuffing her face with pizza. That's what we all do. Who doesn't love pizza?
She was praised, loved, and was put on a pedestal by nearly everyone when her career started. She was Katniss freaking Everdeen, a relatable queen who ironically was even pit against Anne at one point as what a true female movie star should be like.
You can tell there's like this sort of feigned humility where she, you know, she's pretending that she's surprised and shocked and doesn't deserve it. I think what she needs is something that takes her down a peg.
But it's more than that. It's beginning to be that she's not Jennifer Lawrence.
Every gaffe she makes, you know, makes her more endearing.
I feel like I'm like picking people to make fun of me. Next.
She's the girl next door. She's the girl that you feel like you can get a beer with.
I'm sorry, I did a shot before I...
And I think that sort of genuine humility is something that people really respond to.
Why everyone hates Jennifer Lawrence.
Sadly, this love train would end and she too would be cast aside just like Anne.
Thank you, and child prodigy right here. I love it. You have to look out for Taylor Swift because, well, you're going to hear about her right now.
Taylor Swift was a teen country singing sensation with hit album after hit album. The world could not get enough of her. Until you guessed it, She just became too much.
Call it being a chameleon, call her a snake. It basically leads to point number 1, which implies that Taylor Swift is two-faced.
Why does she only sing about boys? Why does she always have to play the victim?
The Taylor Swift is Over party is on a 2-day bender.
Kim Kardashian released video of Kanye West secretly recording his conversation.
Hashtag Taylor Swift is Over party was the #1 trend on Twitter worldwide. Do you know how many people have to be tweeting that they hate you for that to happen?
To sum it up, I think Anne's hate came from overexposure and her Oscar speech.
It came true.
But seriously, was that sense of hate warranted?
Uh-oh, Richard! Oh, wow!
Will Smith slapped a man on stage at the same event a decade apart. And sure, there was a lot of media frenzy over it, a lot of jokes made at his expense. But was there that level of hate that Anne received for just saying,
"It came true"?
That moment caught Anne a lot of flack. In fact, she disappeared for a while after her win.
I didn't see scores of people saying that they hated him, or sick and tired of him, can't stand him, nitpick the way he looks or anything like that. But I did see a lot of hate pointed towards Jada. Instead, Anne was labeled a theater kid who tries too hard to get people to like her. And that made me think of how we as a society mirror the lives within the hallways of high school. I don't think anyone can tell me that they went to a high school and they didn't know someone or was someone who was picked on for merely existing. Maybe it was the theater kid that people couldn't stand because of their confidence and nonconformist attitude. Maybe it was the socially awkward kid. Maybe it was the try-hard kid. No matter the type of kid it was, there was always someone who was the target of being picked on or made fun of. And what all these kids have in common is that they didn't fit into their high school social norms. And in these women's cases, it is blatantly clear that the root of all the hatred they received stems from deep-seated misogyny. Because like a theater kid, they don't fit into society's norms of being a female celebrity. Now, if you're thinking, I don't hate any of these women because I'm sexist and hate women, they deserve the hate because they seem too eager, too fake, too boring, too annoying. Those are all excuses. You hated them because they didn't fit in your box of what makes a good female star. If society could have their way, a female celebrity would remain young, beautiful, talented, and silent for the rest of her career. She can't be anything less than perfect, always has to be charming, certainly can't be awkward. If she's gonna tell a joke, it has to be funny, otherwise don't even try. If you see her around too much, she should not be surprised that her looks will be analyzed and torn to shreds by millions. And finally, most importantly, the #1 cardinal rule, she can never, ever make a mistake. And if she messes up, we'll be ready to watch her fail and bask in it.
I would write about my life as I saw it, as I felt it. And then what happens is, as you get more successful, which you're lucky if that happens, you have more and more people paying attention to what you're doing. And you've been doing it the same way your entire career as a songwriter, but all of a sudden the perspective has changed. You know, like, she just writes songs about her ex-boyfriends, and I think frankly that's a very sexist angle to take. No one says that about Ed Sheeran. No one says it about Bruno Mars. They're all writing songs about their exes, their current girlfriends, their love life, and no one raises a red flag there.
Don't believe in the double standards? Taylor Swift was labeled a serial dater for having dated in her early 20s. Seriously. What is the crime in that?
You're going to walk home with more than maybe just a trophy tonight. I think lots of men.
I'm not going to walk home with any men tonight. I'm going to go hang out with my friends, and then I go home to the cats.
Now, most recently, we've seen the jokes on Leonardo DiCaprio not being able to date a girl over the age of 25. Of course, when it's Leo, it's a slap on the knee laugh. But can you imagine if it were Taylor Swift in 20 years doing this? She'd be absolutely shredded by the media and public. Now, following back to Anne's story, after winning her much-deserved Oscar, she bowed out and told society, "Peace out, y'all won." She dimmed her light just so that she could have some peace.
What was the story? The story, the title of it was Why Does Everybody Hate Anne Hathaway?
And we saw this with Taylor and Jennifer Lawrence too.
Winter's Bone, you're 19, and then you work constantly, including, winning an Oscar in there for 10 years. And after 10 years, you go, okay, I want to step back. What did you learn about yourself by stepping back?
It was nice. I took a break and nobody really cared and it was quiet and I got to kind of feel like I could become a part of the world again without fanfare, literal fanfare.
And after giving us a break from their talents, we have all welcomed them back. with open arms, forgetting what literal bullies we were. Taylor Swift came back with a bang with her sold-out Reputation tour, and just recently, Jennifer Lawrence has been making appearances in the media. It has been a decade since Anne made any news since winning her Oscar, and we as a society have either missed her because it's been too long, or finally realized our error in hating a woman that didn't deserve it at all.
And, you know, and I was so scared. I was just like smoking my nerves away, and I just wasn't nourishing myself. And then cut to 10 years later, I've just figured out how to say thank you to life by trying to just absorb the best, by trying to nourish myself, by taking care of myself, by not apologizing for occupying space, you know, which is not something I knew how to do 10 years ago. So I don't know, it's been a journey, and I don't look that different, but I just feel like the inside has just transformed so much.
Now, I really hope this cycle doesn't continue where in 2030 we're back to being absolute ugly human beings ripping these innocent women to shreds. And I hope we don't ever do this again to another female celebrity who does not deserve it. But history has a way of repeating itself, and we have already done this to countless women. I really wouldn't be surprised if Florence Pugh was the next target. It just shows how deeply sexist we are as a society to bully successful, talented women into hiding. Can we as human beings with feelings and empathy just learn better to not repeat this insane teardown of successful, smart women and just let them live their lives? I certainly hope so. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this whole topic, and please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more hot takes like this. Thanks. Bye!